Hi, I'm Shirella, and today is what to do about manic thoughts. I know a guy who told me one time, you know what? I can just sit here and think about nothing. And I thought, is he serious? Can he really sit there and think about nothing? I think there are some people that can think about nothing, but I am definitely not one of them. My mind is most often just full and going, busy, 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 going all the time. I don't know if you can relate to this, but if so, I've got a list of things to help you here because we're going to call these manic thoughts. They can be excited, happy, good thoughts where nothing can go wrong, everything in the world is right, or they can be the thoughts of everything is going terrible and death is just around the corner and you're filled with despair. It can go back and forth, so that's why I call them manic. Fortunately, sometimes they're in the middle and they're just happy, regular, medium, neutral thoughts. I also know a guy who was in a manic state where he just quit college, jumped in his car with his girlfriend, and drove across the country, subsisting on Dr. Pepper and Cadbury eggs. I suggest you don't get to that point. So whether you have manic thoughts often or not, or as I think about people that I know in my life who have manic thoughts, myself included, here is what we can do about them. First of all, beware when you start to go manic, when you start to go really happy or really not so good. Just even awareness alone kind of lets you know that you need to do something. When you can keep your thoughts busy with things, then especially if they're uplifting, then you can kind of you can manage your thoughts by kind of feeding them, kind of guiding them along that flowing river of movement with uplifting, hopefully. You can anticipate the swings in life. When change is going to happen, you can give yourself more self-care because you see what's going to happen. You can have your backups ready, your plan of what happens when the change gets to be too much and your thoughts are going to go manic one way or the other. To be able to know that when change happens, have your contingency plan. You can find a consistent grounding activity or activities that keep you on the straight and narrow when you start to kind of go. You want to do things that can keep you in the regular mindset as much as possible when you know that things are going to be kind of going maybe a little haywire. You can breathe more, drink more. Usually most of us are dehydrated, so drinking more is going to help, and moving your body. When you start to get manic in your thoughts, your body can help by moving and expending that energy. So the movement of the body can help with the thoughts. And if you've ever tried hopping on a bike and just going for a good, swift bike ride, sometimes it's just what you need. You need the body to kind of step in and help out your thoughts. You can also do a gratitude dump. I try to think of a better word, but sometimes just going off on the list of, I am so grateful that I have a house, grateful that I have a roof, I'm grateful that I have wheels to get around, I'm grateful that I have people in my life that I love, and you just start going off on the gratefulness. Because if you're going to be manic one way or another, you might as well start to direct it towards the things that you love, because then that's going to increase your vibration, your personal vibe, so that you are on a better trajectory than where it could go in a negative place. You can have new views, new sounds, new experiences. Seek for those things. When you start to go manic one way or another, do the thing that you know is going to help you, especially if it's a manic down. Do something new, listen to something new, maybe even listen to something that you don't normally listen to that might help you. See something, put yourself in a new situation that's going to kind of jar your thoughts out of where they might be not so uplifting. So get outside, try different sounds, different kind of sounds that maybe you're not used to. And then I'm going to call these the S's. We're going to make sure you get enough sleep, enough sun, especially if you're like me and you need that sun for the seasonal affective disorder. Swinging is really calming. I have 2 swings. I have one in the middle of my great room when you first walk into the house. I have a swing. Then I have my hammock out back, just kind of behind me over here actually in the orchard. And these are things that calm me down. When my thoughts start to just go in a whirlwind, I calm down with a swing. Then supplements. Sometimes you just need a good supplement to calm you down. There's GABA, G-A-B-A. There's magnesium. There's holy basil. All sorts of things that you can calm down with. And then less caffeine and nutritious food. So the S's right there were sleep, swing, sun, and supplements, meaning food, less caffeine. And then to reach out for people. I know that sometimes I don't want people to know that I'm struggling or that my thoughts are going crazy, but people can help you. People can help you see reason. They can help you know when you need extra support. They can help you see when you're not with it all the way, and they can give you suggestions for what to do to be able to get more centered. And of course, you don't find this in everybody, but people who are going to be helpful. These are your special people who you can reach out to, who you know are going to help. And they're not going to be overwhelmed by you, and they are not going to sway you one way or another. They're just going to love you and help you back to where you need to be. So they are your support. And they can cue you into when you need to do something different. And then I love to write things out. Sometimes my voice just needs recognition. I just need a witness of what I'm thinking, because they can just go around and around. I can think of something 20 or 30 times in a day. It's like, do I really need to think about that thing 20 or 30 times? When I write it down, it's like, oh, there it is. It's in concrete form. I don't need to think about it anymore. Be done with it. I also like to write out lists when things are overwhelming and just say, okay, this is too much. And when I write it down, I can see it's there. It's been accounted for. It's not going anywhere, and it doesn't have to be still swimming around in my head. So I'm going to stick it down on paper so it doesn't overwhelm. And then I can make sense of these things. I can say, well, is this really true? Is there truth in this thing? And should I keep trusting it? And if I can write it down on the paper and say, oh, that's not even true, or that's not uplifting, that's not helpful, let's not even go there. So writing it out helps you make sense of those thoughts that ruminate. You can strive for balance when you're obsessed. When you are obsessing, you can try to find the things that you know center you and put you back in the middle. We've kind of already talked about that. But balance is nice when you're obsessing, because then you don't have to go too far into one side of manic. For a manic up, don't overcommit, don't overpromise, don't spend too much money, don't eat too much. And recognize when these things are happening, and maybe other people can also cue you in. It's nice to feel good, but when it gets to be too much, you may need to have those calming techniques like the swing and the sun and movement and other things like that. I also enjoy a really good meditation, or even just a medium meditation. It doesn't have to be that great. I go out into the hammock and I put on meditation music for 15 or 20 minutes, and pretty soon my thoughts have been slowed down. They've gone from a beta level of activity, the wavelengths of the brain, to an alpha, preferably to the next theta is where you want to be, to calm your thoughts, to not be so racing so much. And you can get that through meditation. Any day I do yoga is a good day. Yoga always gets my thoughts and my breath in the same movement. And you can't breathe that fast while doing yoga, so it has to kind of slow down. So then your thoughts also follow. I also find a lot of benefit in Tai Chi. And two people I recommend for yoga, Sarah Beth Yoga, I love her. And then for Tai Chi, Lee Holden has some good exercises and lots of classes. Sometimes if you're just in that manic state and nothing's working, though everything I've listed so far I think is going to help you, but if you just need a quick fix, you can go to media, a movie, reading, other things, watching a show, whatever, but don't use it as a crutch. Sometimes I just need it to just ground me and get me centered, and then I can go on with life. When you need to get out of the head, get into your heart. Concentrate on your heart. And your heart has feelings, not so much thoughts. So when you just start to breathe into the heart, your thoughts are able to take a nice rest. I like to pray to have my angel guild with me. I feel like I have 4 or 5 angels around me who are going to help me. And I can just call upon them and say, hey, I need some help. Okay, technically I pray to God, but he can enlist my guild, who is always there, and kind of direct them, and then I can kind of just bounce things off of them. I just always know that they're there. So it's nice to know you have that support of angels around you. And if you don't believe in that, then why not? If you could believe it, then why not? And then be present. Try to be present. Instead of racing your thoughts forward or backward, just be here in the now. Just calm it down to right now. And there's nothing really that you can't handle right now, right? And then ignore that ego that says you're not doing enough, you're not being enough. And the ego just really wants you to be in racing thoughts and just try to prove that you are good enough. Just let the ego go. It can be helpful to you. It can help you figure your place in the world, but a lot of times it's not helpful. So ignore that ego. Use it when it's helpful to you. So it's just another manic Monday. Wish it were Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. My I don't have to run day. Enjoy your Sabbath day. It's the day of rest. I just let my mind and my thoughts just level out on Sunday, because why not? God gave it to us for the day of rest. So use it. If you like to talk about self-care, which this all is, then you might enjoy my 91-day app-based program that talks about better health through better eating, moving your body, and self-care, as we've been talking about. You can find it at www.honeydewhealthin91.com.